From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. It's day 24 of the federal election campaign, and all of the main party leaders will be in the Montreal area today with announcements and/or news conferences ahead of their two televised debates in the city. A new poll from Abacus Data has found Liberal leader Mark Carney's personal popularity has risen during the 3 weeks of this campaign so far, the poll putting his favorability rating among voters higher than that of Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, 48% to 40%. Carney's negative rating clocked in at 28% compared to 45% for Poilievre. But Carney is also a political newcomer, and his French language skills will be under the microscope in the French debate tomorrow night. The English debate will follow on Thursday. Now, the Federal Debate Commission released its list of topics for these debates. They include affordability and the cost of living, energy and climate, public safety and security, and tariffs and threats to Canada. Canadians will get the latest read on inflation this morning when StatsCan releases its Consumer Price Index for March. Economists expect the annual inflation rate to come in at 2.6% last month, matching the results seen in February.
Some of the factors expected to impact the March Consumer Price Index include a lower Canadian dollar pushing up import costs, still rising food prices, and the early effects of tariffs. The inflation report comes ahead of the Bank of Canada's next interest rate decision on Wednesday. The central bank's key rate sits at 2.75%. Michelle Zedekian, the Canadian Press.
Ontario's response to Canada's escalating trade war with the U.S. will factor heavily in the first legislative sitting since Premier Doug Ford cruised to another majority victory in the province's snap election in February. On the heels of yesterday's House election of Progressive Conservative member Donna Skelly as Speaker, the Ford government will outline its priorities in a throne speech today, delivered by the Lieutenant Governor. Ford says opening up interprovincial trade barriers will be his first order of business to help counter the impacts of U.S. tariffs. Here's his Economic Development Minister, Vic Fedeli.
So interprovincial trade is really intended to open up Ontario in a real bold and leading way towards interprovincial trade. For the country, it could add up to $200 billion.
Nina Carey worries apparel businesses like hers will be worse for wear after U.S. tariffs rip through their businesses. The Calgary-based designer who runs luxury women's wear line Noni and workwear brand Folds says she wakes up every day with anxiety about the trade war's effects on her industry.
The scariest part of it is that small businesses are going to be the ones that are going to be hit the hardest. The bigger guys, they'll figure out a way to get through this. It'll be hard for them as well, but it's the small businesses right now that it almost feels like they're kind of like pawns in the middle of all this.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, top Montreal prospect Ivan Demidov dazzled with a goal and an assist in his very first NHL game, but the Canadians lost 4-3 in a shootout to Chicago. The Habs missed a chance to clinch a playoff spot for the third straight game. Head coach Martin St. Louis says handling this pressure is a learning experience for his young team.
And when you want something so bad, you're working so hard, can you calm the mind through the storm?
Adrian Kempe had a goal and two helpers, and the LA Kings torched the depleted Edmonton Oilers 5-0. The Kings officially clinched home ice against the Oilers in the first round of the playoffs. Jake DeBrusk scored late in overtime as Vancouver rallied to beat San Jose 2-1. And in baseball, the Atlanta Braves hit 3 homers in an 8-4 win over the Toronto Blue Jays. Jays starter Easton Lucas gave up 8 earned runs over his 5 innings. The two teams will spar again tonight with Kevin Gausman on the mound. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.